Welcome to English Story Podcast.
Madam, you ask if I am laughing at you? You do not believe that a man has never been in love. Well, no, I have never loved, never. Why is that? I really don't know. I have never felt the strong feeling we call love. I have never lived in that dream, that happiness, that madness that the image of a woman can bring. I have never been chased by, or thought constantly about, or been so happy just by thinking of meeting, or being with, someone who became more important to me than anything else in the world. I have never cried, and I have never suffered because of love. I have never stayed awake at night thinking of someone. I have no experience of waking up with thoughts of her. I have never known the wild joy of hope before meeting her, or the deep sadness when she left me, leaving behind the soft smell of violet perfume. I have never been in love. I have often asked myself why this is. And honestly, I can barely say. Still, I have found some reasons, but they are not easy to explain, and maybe you will not understand them. I think I am too picky about women to fall under their charm. Please forgive me for saying this. I will explain what I mean. In every person, there is a moral side and a physical side. To love someone, I would need to find a balance between these two sides, which I have never found. One side always wins, sometimes the moral side, sometimes the physical side. The mind we expect in a woman, to love her, is not the same as a strong mind. It is different. A woman should be honest, gentle, sensitive, and caring. She does not need to be powerful or to lead in thought, but she should be kind, elegant, tender, and playful, and have the ability to grow quickly to be equal to the man who shares her life. Her best qualities should be tact, that gentle sense which is to the mind what touch is to the body. It shows her many little things, shapes, and forms on the level of the mind. Often, pretty women do not have the mind to match their beauty. Even the smallest lack of balance bothers me and hurts me at first sight. In friendship, this is not important. Friendship is a deal where we fairly share good and bad points. We may judge friends, whether man or woman, by giving them credit for the good and ignoring the bad, valuing them as they are, while sharing a close, intense, and charming bond. To love, one must be blind, give oneself up completely, see nothing, ask nothing, understand nothing. One must love the flaws as well as the beauty of the person they love, give up all judgment, all thinking, and all understanding. I cannot be so blind, and I cannot follow love without reason. This is not all. I have such a high and delicate idea of harmony that nothing can ever meet my perfect ideal. But you may think I am crazy. Listen to me. A woman, in my opinion, can have a beautiful soul and a lovely body, but that soul and body might not be in perfect balance with each other. I mean that people with noses of a certain shape should not be expected to think in a certain way. Those who are fat should not use the same words and phrases as those who are thin. You, with blue eyes, madam, cannot see life and judge things as someone with black eyes would. The color of your eyes should match, in a way, the color of your thoughts. I notice these things very easily. You may laugh, but it is true. And yet, once I thought I was in love, just for an hour, or for a day, I foolishly gave into the situation around me. I let myself be tricked by a false dawn. Would you like to hear this short story? One evening, I met a pretty, excited little woman who had a romantic idea to spend a night with me in a boat on a river. I would have preferred a room and a bed, but I agreed to the river and the boat. It was the month of June. My lovely companion chose a moonlit night to help her imagination. We had dinner at an inn by the river and set out in the boat at about 10 o'clock. I thought it was a rather silly adventure, but since my companion liked it, I did not mind. I sat down on the seat facing her, took the oars, and off we went. I could not deny that the scene was beautiful. We floated past a small island full of nightingales, and the river carried us quickly over water covered with silvery ripples. The tree frogs made their high-pitched, repetitive calls, the frogs croaked in the grass by the riverbank, and the sound of the water flowing around us made a quiet, almost unnoticeable noise. It made us feel a little scared in a mysterious way. The sweet charm of warm nights and of streams shining in the moonlight touched us. It was wonderful to be alive and to float like this, and to dream and to feel a kind and beautiful young woman beside me. I was somewhat moved, somewhat nervous, somewhat drunk with the pale light of the night and the feeling of being close to a lovely woman. "Come and sit beside me," she said. I did what she asked. She continued, "Recite some poetry for me." This seemed like too much for me. I said no, but she kept asking. She really wanted to create a romantic mood, with everything from the moon to the words of poets. In the end, I gave in, and, almost as a joke, I recited a lovely little poem by Louis Buell Hay. Here are the last verses. He has not heard the mighty voice of nature's tone, the sound of the world in her many moods, who cannot walk alone in the deep valleys, and doesn't dream of a woman in the whispering woods. I expected her to be upset, but she wasn't. Instead, she softly said, "How true that is." I was surprised. Did she really understand? Our boat had slowly moved closer to the riverbank and got caught in the branches of a willow tree, which made it stop. I put my arm around her waist and gently moved closer to kiss her neck. But she pushed me away quickly and angrily. "Stop that, please." "How rude you are," she said. I tried to pull her closer to me, but she pushed back and grabbed onto the tree. We almost fell into the water. I thought it was best to stop trying. She said, "I would rather tip the boat over. I feel so happy. I want to dream." This is so wonderful." Then, with a little bit of a teasing tone, she added, "Have you already forgotten the poem you just recited to me?" She was right, so I stayed quiet. She continued, "Let's keep going." So, I picked up the oars and started rowing again. I began to feel like the night was too long, and I felt a bit silly. My companion then said, "Will you promise me something?" "Yes, what is it?" I asked. "To stay quiet, well-behaved, and not try anything, if I let you." "What? What do you mean?" "Here's what I mean. I want to lie down on my back at the bottom of the boat with you next to me. But I don't want you to touch me, hug me, or try to kiss me." I promised. She warned me, "If you move, I'll tip the boat over." So, we lay down side by side, looking up at the sky, while the boat gently moved through the water. The soft sounds of the night felt clearer as we lay there, sometimes making us jump a little. I began to feel a strange, deep emotion, a strong tenderness, like I wanted to open my arms to hold someone, to open my heart to love, to give everything, my thoughts, my body, my life, to someone. She softly murmured, like she was dreaming, "Where are we? Where are we going? It feels like I'm leaving the earth. How wonderful this is. Oh, if only you love me, a little." My heart started beating fast. I didn't know what to say. It felt like I loved her. I didn't feel a strong desire to do anything more. I was just happy to be there beside her, and that was enough for me. And so, we stayed like that for a very long time, without moving. We held each other's hands, and a wonderful feeling kept us still, a strange power stronger than us. It felt like we were connected, so close and so complete, lying there side by side, as if we belonged to each other without even touching. What was this feeling? I don't really know. Was it love? Slowly, the morning light began to appear. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. A bright light spread across the sky. The boat gently bumped into something. I sat up. We had come close to a small island. But I stayed there, amazed, in a sort of joy. The sky before us was turning red, pink, and violet, with fiery clouds that looked like golden mist. The river was glowing with purple, and 3 houses on one side looked like they were on fire. I leaned toward my companion. I was about to say, "Oh, look!" But I stopped, feeling overwhelmed, and suddenly, I could only see her. She, too, was bathed in pink light, her skin, her hair, her eyes, her teeth, her dress, her lace, her smile, everything was pink. And, for a moment, I really believed that the dawn had taken on a human form and was standing before me. She stood up softly, offering her lips to me. I moved closer to her, trembling, feeling like I was about to kiss heaven itself, to kiss happiness, to kiss a dream that had become a woman, to kiss the perfect ideal that had come to life. Then she said to me, "You have a caterpillar in your hair." And suddenly, I felt as sad as if I had lost all hope in life. That's all, madam. It's childish, silly, and foolish. But since that day, I believe it's impossible for me to fall in love. And yet, who knows?